Good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. This is Jennifer with Tarle Speech, and I am here continuing my series on how to pronounce sounds in American English. And this is a mini series that I'm doing that is also being posted as a podcast. You can check it out there. I just want to say hi to everyone on all of the platforms today. I'm streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Everything is live. So the way this is going to work today is I am going to do an overview of the CH and the J sound. We are going to talk about how you pronounce these sounds, what your mouth does, how you spell the sound so that when you're reading, you know what you are going to say. And also, we will do some practice. If you have questions, by all means, please go ahead and ask your questions. I'm not going to take questions as they come in. I'm going to stop every once in a while and take questions that way. So before we get started, does anyone have anything that is pressing to ask? Okay, I see that we have some people here. Good morning, everyone. All right, I hope you all had a good weekend. In the US, it is a bank holiday today. It is President's Day. So my daughter is home. I sent her to play somewhere else. So it would be nice and quiet for us. Okay. Oh my gosh. And I just spilled my coffee. Hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Let's see here. Let me get this all wiped up. Okay. All good. Sorry about that. All right. Have to have my coffee. So give me a thumbs up if everything is okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And I am always interested where everyone is attending from today. So let me know in the chat. All right, it doesn't look like there are any issues, so let's go ahead and get started. So today we are going to be talking about the CH and J sounds. CH and J have these phonetic symbols that you'll see here. I tend to not use phonetic symbols too much in my lessons because I find it's just one more thing for people to learn and memorize. And so, but this is helpful if you do know phonetics to know what these phonetic symbols are. All right. So the CH sound, let's start with that one. I'm going to make myself very small for those of you watching live and have the instructions bigger on the screen. And then I'll make myself bigger so that you can see actually what I'm doing with my mouth. Okay. So for the CH sound, your lips are going to be rounded. Your tongue is going to start by touching the teeth, specifically where the teeth meet the skin on the roof of your mouth. So when I say touch the back of your top front teeth, that's just so much easier to say than exactly where you're supposed to put it. Some people put it in different spots, but that's generally where it goes. Then once your tongue starts there, it's going to pull back into the middle of your mouth. Your airflow is going to just puff out and your voice is off. What does that mean? Your voice is off. If you put your hand on your throat and say, you can feel that vibration. That vibration is voicing. All vowels are voiced. And the CH sound, your voice is off. That means your voice box is not on. and it is not moving. Your voice box is also your larynx, which someone didn't know from last week. So that's for the CH sound. And let me demonstrate quickly. So it's going to look like this. Ch, ch, ch. So you can see my lips start very rounded. Ch, ch. And as my tongue starts by touching my teeth and it pulls back, my lips pull back slightly. Ch, ch, ch. Okay. And let's move on to the next sound, which is the J. Your mouth is going to do exactly the same thing. So we have many sound pairs in English where your mouth does exactly the same thing. The only difference is your voice box. In fact, these sounds happen in many, many languages. But this is the pair that we're talking about today, is the CH and the J. So on this one, I do see a mistake. Your voice is going to be on. So let's try that J sound. J, J, J. So I'm pointing here because my voice box is on. My larynx is vibrating and engaged. J, J, J. Just a tip. The CH sound starts with the letter T sound. T, t, t. The J sound starts with the D sound. D, d, d. So it's actually two sounds put together, but these sounds are so quickly pronounced together that it becomes a new sound. So don't think of it as two different sounds. Think of it as one sound, but the CH is t, sh, ch. And the J sound rather is d, j, j. So let's talk about what are some mistakes that I hear with these sounds. For the CH sound, oftentimes my students will forget to touch their teeth to start the sound. So then the CH sound, the ch, sounds like a shh, and that's not what we want. So the correction there is touch the teeth to say that sound. Ch, ch, ch. I hear the same thing with the J sound. Oftentimes I'll hear people say Jennifer instead of Jennifer. And the difference is that the person has not touched their teeth to start that sound. D, J, 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 Jennifer. So those are the big mistakes that I see. Every once in a while, I will hear someone say a Z or an S for these sounds. But the two big mistakes that I do here are that SH and that J, that ZH sound, as I would spell it. Okay, so let me check the chat quickly. Okay. Yes, perfecting pronunciation is a journey. And I love that because it's taken you many years to learn your level of English fluency. Give yourself a break, give yourself some grace, and allow yourself some time to learn pronunciation. Pronunciation doesn't have to be perfect, but you must be clear to avoid confusion and also just to make it more fun for you, because it is not fun when someone keeps saying, excuse me, what, huh? So practicing your pronunciation is great. And don't forget that you might know what to do in your brain with the pronunciation, but sometimes it takes your mouth a little bit longer to catch up and get with the program and to say the sounds consistently while you are communicating. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. All right. So the CH sound, when we're talking about spelling, it is two letters, the C and the H, but we pronounce it as one sound. We have more of these digraphs in English. You might have been to my TH class last week, and those are two letters that we pronounce as one sound. There is not an H and there is not a C in this sound. It's the ch, which, as we just talked about, is the T and the SH sounds put together, but we spell it with the C and the H. We also see this with WH, where we pronounce it as a W or an H. Yes, some people in some regions of the country still pronounce it with a hua with the two sounds, but typically it's the W or the H. Our spellings are most predominantly the CH letters spell the CH sound, church. We also see oftentimes this TCH in batch. And I do have a few classes on that I'm definitely going to post in the description after the class. And that's a follow along pronunciation class that I posted, maybe a year or two ago. And then also, when we have the letter T and then that U sound, we're going to say ch. So I wouldn't say virtue, I would say virtue here, virtue. And let me take my face away. Just want to give you a little word of caution that the letters CH can also be pronounced as K or SH. And we see this in the word stomach and in the word Chicago. All right, I'm looking for some more questions here. All right, yeah, good tip from Mustafa. He was saying it is good to check new words pronunciation, especially if it's a word that you've never seen or you've never heard. It is good to double check. And Gojo wants to know, batch is pronounced a bit like E. Is it batch? No, it is batch with that very open batch, batch, batch. You might be hearing a slight S sound because my mouth is closing a little bit for that B and that CH sound. So that's something else to keep in mind, that the sounds around a sound will influence it and change it slightly. I think that's what makes pronunciation incredibly difficult. All right, so how do we spell the J sound? Again, two sounds said very quickly together, the D and the ja and the ja sound. And the main spelling is J, as in Jen, yours truly. G, that we would see in ginger. It's that first G. DGE, as in lodge. And GE, as in cage. And then again, we have the D plus that U that we are going to pronounce as a J. So in this word, it would be individual. I see I missed a question in the chat from Martin, which is CH has three sounds. How do you know which sound to use? I do have a video that, again, I will post in the description on YouTube that does discuss how you say which sound you use for that CH. I don't have my notes in front of me, but oftentimes if the word has a French derivation, like Chicago or Champagne, we are going to pronounce that with an SH sound. And if it's more of a Greek word like stomach, of Greek derivation, then we are going to pronounce it with a K. And most of the time we do say the CH. Yes. And Mustafa, pronunciation in English, there are rules, but it is a mess. I can see what you are saying. I would argue that some other languages are confusing as well, but we won't get into that today, because sometimes when the rules change or when there are exceptions to the rules, that makes it very, very difficult to learn. And in this case, we do just have some exceptions. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to get into some practice. Before we get into practice, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? Okay, so how we're going to do practice is I am going to have the words up and I will be small in the corner. And then I will make myself a little bit bigger so that you can see my mouth as well. Okay. Someone from Kurdistan. I love it. Oh, and thank you. I'm so pleased that I can offer this little service free on YouTube for everyone to help you just make your life a little easier by avoiding having to repeat yourself all of the time. All right. So let me show you the words here. Sorry, I gave you the wrong one. Okay. I'm going to show you the words. I'm going to read the words and I want you just to listen. Okay. Choice, choose, chicken, church, children, beaches, hatchet, ketchup, kitchen, teacher, stitch, stretch, bunch, torch, perch. All right. Now I'm going to make myself bigger. And I know the words are kind of small, especially if you're watching this on your phone. But the key is here is to try to repeat after me and don't worry about the spelling or even knowing what the word is at this point. Just repeat after me. Choice, choose, chicken, church, children. Now I'm going to say all 5 words and then you take a turn. Choice, choose, chicken, church, children. And now in the middle, repeat after me. Beaches, hatchet, ketchup, kitchen, teacher. Beaches, hatchet, ketchup, kitchen, teacher. And now at the end, stitch, stretch, bunch, torch, perch. Stitch, stretch, bunch, torch, perch. Okay, how did you do? All right, just a reminder, this was difficult for you. Some of the mistakes that I see are that people forget to touch their teeth for the sound with the tongue to start. And then also sometimes people have their lips pulled too far back and they forget to round. All right, let's move on to the J sound. And just remember, your mouth does the same thing, but your throat is going to be on, your voice box, your larynx will be vibrating and on. So just listen. Jacket, gentle, giant, jungle, jump, individual, lodging, edges, education, graduate, revenge, ledge, badge, privilege, bridge. All right, and then repeat after me. Jacket, gentle, giant, jungle, jump. And let's try the whole list. Jacket, gentle, giant, jungle, jump. Okay, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second because my dog jumped into the window and I thought she was going to start barking, but she didn't, so sorry about that. Let's go on into the list in the middle. Individual, lodging, edges, education, graduate, or graduate. Individual, lodging, edges, education, graduate. And now the last row, revenge, ledge, badge, privilege, bridge. Revenge, ledge, badge, privilege, bridge. Okay, awesome. I did just want to talk about one thing with voice sounds at the end of the words. I hear this from some of my students that they hear Americans not voicing that final sound. I understand where you are coming from, but I want you to remember that the voicing is marked by other things. So the words etch and edge they have the first two sounds. The first sound is the same. And then the CH and the J are at the end of the word. In etch, the vowel will be a little tiny bit shorter, and in edge, the vowel will be a tiny bit longer. So even if a native English speaker turns off their voice slightly for that J at the end, that vowel will still be slightly different. So again, it's etch and edge. And you might hear some people say etch and edge, where their voice kind of shuts off at the end. But again, there's still a difference in those words, and it is that vowel that gives it away. All right, let's keep going. So now we are into some sentence practice. I'm going to read the sentence and then you repeat after me. I'm just going to start by reading all of the sentences and then I'll make myself bigger. The butcher chopped the chicken. Did you eat chips, chicken, and ketchup every day for lunch? The children sat on the bench to listen to each speech. Okay, ready? The butcher chopped the chicken. The butcher chopped the chicken. Do you eat chips, chicken, and ketchup every day for lunch? Do you eat chips, chicken, and ketchup every day for lunch? The children sat on the bench to listen to each speech. The children sat on the bench to listen to each speech. Okay, awesome, everyone. Now let's move on to the J sound. Jennifer and Julie enjoy sharing knowledge and educating Jack and Jill. The weather in June and July is so nice you don't need a jacket. The pigeon is perched on the ledge. Okay, let's go one by one. Jennifer and Julie enjoy sharing knowledge and educating Jack and Jill. Jennifer and Julie enjoy sharing knowledge and educating Jack and Jill. The weather in June and July is so nice you don't need a jacket. The weather in June and July is so nice you don't need a jacket. The pigeon is perched on the ledge. The pigeon is perched on the ledge. And now let's end with a few tongue twisters. Which chips will Charlie choose to chew? Which chips will Charlie choose to chew? Give that a try. Which chips will Charlie choose to chew? And now for Jay. Jolly Jack and Joyful Jill are jumping up the jagged hill. Jolly Jack and Joyful Jill are jumping up the jagged hill. Jolly Jack and Joyful Jill are jumping up the jagged hill. Okay, everyone, how did you do? You did it. We got through all of the practice. Excellent. You know how to say the sound, how to read the sound, and some exceptions. And Gojo has a great question. So I'm going to answer some questions now, which is what about the word genre, which is spelled G-E-N-R-E? We actually pronounce that with the zh sound. So it's not a g and it's not a j. It's a zh. So that is definitely an exception. Genre. All right. And then the word motivation, think of it this way. Mode, vation. And we're going to stress they. Motivation. 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 All right. I'm going to just go through a few things while I see if you have any more questions. So those of you who are new to me and my YouTube channel, I post a new free lesson every day of the week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I pronounced shorts. I publish shorts lessons, and those are quick mini lessons on a word. They're short. I do try to keep them at 15 seconds. I do get some complaints because people say I don't always have a sentence. True story. But I like to keep them that short because I'm a true believer, and I know that it works, that short, quick practice every day is key to making progress. And if I can keep your practice to 15 seconds, which would take you about a minute to then practice those words a few times after you finish the lesson, that's called winning, and you are going to make nice progress. On Tuesdays, I have a very long-standing series, which is great not only for your pronunciation, but also for your vocabulary and your reading. And it is 2 for Tuesday. Those are 2 words that are pronounced exactly the same way. They just have different pronunciations and different meanings. I'm sorry, they're pronounced the same way. They have different spellings and different meanings. And then on Fridays, I have heteronyms, which are words that are spelled the same. They are pronounced differently and they have different meanings. And those words are great for people who struggle with syllable stress in words. And that series has been going on for about 6 months now. And I think it's going to continue a little bit longer because there are a lot of words like that. And then I'm doing these tutorials. And I'm doing these tutorials now for all of the sounds twice a week. And it is called Lunchtime Live. I started doing it at lunchtime for me here in the US. And then someone said, well, it's not lunchtime here. And so now I'm having them at different times because then it's lunchtime somewhere in the world. If you are looking for help, you can check out my products. They are ebooks. I have an ebook of all of the sounds, and then I also have mini ebooks just for each sound. So if these are the only two sounds that you struggle with, the J and the CH, you can just buy those two mini books. Try to keep it really inexpensive and really easy for you. The ebooks have PDFs with embedded audio, so you can click on the audio and listen to me, repeat after me, and then practice those words on your own. I post this tutorial and all of my tutorials to a podcast. You can get that wherever you find your podcasts. And I'm also on all the socials, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I just think it's great to follow so you're reminded on a daily basis to practice. Not only do I post my daily lesson, but I also post lessons from the past for you to work on your pronunciation. All right. Norbert, thank you so much that I deserve to get paid. I do have private pay clients, so that does support me. So thank you so much. And I do offer classes privately, one-on-one, if you are interested. The information is on my website. And I also do classes in person. Now that the world is kind of opening back up and things are getting so much better after the pandemic, I do teach in person. I've taught in China and I've taught in Japan and live in Chicago. So if you are interested in scheduling a class for your company, for your school, whether it's in person or virtually, reach out. I'd love to help you and to help your students. Also, if you don't want to have me live, just send your questions from your students to me. I can give you all a shout out in a video, which is kind of fun, especially for those teenage students who sometimes need a little more motivation. Okay. I have one more question. A jagged hill. It is let's see. Is it okay to disregard the H when you connect jagged and hill? Jagged hill. You could. You could not say the H. I know a lot of people drop H's in connected speech. I do often overpronounce in my classes because I'm presenting. And that's kind of a hallmark of most presenters, most teachers. We're going to overpronounce, and I'm probably pronouncing more sounds than I would if I was just having a normal conversation with you and I was not trying to make some points for you all to remember. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for today. Thank you all for being here. I have another class on Friday on the P and B sound. So you can check out, I have that posted, the time and the locations on my socials. I'm using StreamYard. It's amazing. So it's posting all of that for me. So again, thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day. And if you are in the US and have the day off for President's Day, enjoy. And I hope to see you all on Friday for another live class. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.